I just waited over 1 hour saying I needed to submit a form. They only
called about 4 numbers the entire hour. There's nobody being served at the windows, and everybody keeps kind of looking around weird.
And if you read my poetry, which I'll show you in a minute,
it basically looks like there's people giving fake documents to children in there, and a bunch of white people and black people from other countries, and maybe even from this country, who don't give a fuck about participating in slavery and buying fake documents so they can move children and women and probably men all around the world. Just stay feminine, stay submissive, do what you're told, or the evil one will choke you or hurt your friend.
Or scratch you or do other things like cut you or burn you, maybe even inside your vagina or your asshole.
And this is real from Washington, D.C., and that's a Social Security office. And they ain't really doing their job for the American people, I can tell you that. I'm a person with disability. All I wanted to do was submit a form or get a copy of a form, whatever, and I waited for an hour with no such assistance. I find this very common here in Washington, D.C. when I'm trying to get my basic paperwork completed, and no one really seems to care except for me. Then again, maybe lots of people care, and maybe I'm just the blind, silent leader or general or jefe de jefe or spokesperson or king or whatever the fuck you want to call it. However, there's a lot of evil going on, and we're going to stop it. And we are the people of God, and it is good versus evil, and there's a bunch of scramblers in between. Y'all are going to have to fucking pay for your own lunch someday rather than robbing it from human beings' lives based upon money from suffering. And this is how we do. Watch this.
Have a great day. All right.
D544, 1, 2, 3, D544.
Hey, call me stupid. That looks like a penitentiary with a guard tower, not a fucking government building. And let me ask you men and women something who wear a badge. What do you protect? Do you protect what's inside the building? Do you protect money? Do you protect the building? Do you prevent people from leaving the building unless they are doing your work? As in, are you guarding human beings that are kept in solitude? Or are you a true soldier, an officer of justice and true justice, not this bullshit United States passed on fake shit? Think about that. Are you a pig or a soldier or what? What?
And for all you special folks out there who keep track on the streets and that red and blue thing, and there's all these people who do red and blue and don't really give a fuck or know what it means, I'm going to tell you what it means. And trust me, I'm blue because I was just told that when I was in Pittsburgh. And that's a whole other story. But red means you'll take the blood money, which means back in the day you would have cut the tops of people's heads off and traded them into the government for your paper silver certificates. Those were called redskins, what you cut the top off of people's heads, men, women, and children. And you sold them to the United States government. That's who Team Red is. Team Blue means you have honor and you won't murder for money. You won't do that evil shit for money. That's the difference between red and blue. And it was set up by the United States government. Understand? To defeat people who are trying to stand up for true justice. So they did the Crips and the Bloods. And you know what the smart elders did? They worked with what was given to them. And everybody who's red, you're an evil fucker who will take blood money and hurt anybody, including baby, kids, and old people, just for money. Team Blue has honor. That's the difference. So that's why I'm having a hard time in D.C., because basically Washington, D.C. is a blood money city. It's a blood money city. And that's why they invented paper money, was to pay for the tops of people's heads once they were validated dead. And people came in from all over the United States to turn in dead scalps to the reserves, the monetary reserves, the federal reserves. And you get a certain number of silver certificates for each dead person's top of their head or scalp, also known as a redskin. That's why the United States government is corrupt. That's why paper money is corrupt, and that's why silver certificates were changed to the term dollar. You know why? So it's a duller name than silver certificate, which was given to people to murder, much as silver was given to Judas to murder Jesus. Get it? They didn't want to keep handing out their silver and gold once they realized how bloodthirsty these certain fucking fucks were. So what did they do? They said, hey, we'll just give you a piece of paper. It's a silver certificate, and we'll hold the silver for you in our Federal Reserve. And that's what we're getting at. And that's what the people of God know. And so all these people who scramble and run around, if you're the children of these people and your parents are against me, it's because they're for blood money. They'll buy and sell human beings, they'll murder for money, and they'll even sell their own fucking children. And they'll walk around with babies and tell their kids not to say something. Oh, 35 trillion in debt. That's true too. You know what else they'll do? They'll buy a fucking older girl to be like an older sister, only to later tell their children, nah, she's just a slave here to teach you how to take sex. Once you learn how to have sex, you can be a bachelor and save it up for Friday and Saturday, maybe get some of them date rape drugs that are so popular from these scientists. Get it? Scientists. And what is science? Science is silence with an invisible and silent L. And that's how they keep control. Hear nothing. Silence. See nothing. Not see. Say nothing. Guess what? Silence is violence. Say something. Fix your world. Help me fix our planet. Right up here, there's a sign that talks about the old slave yards here, where they bought and sold people, right here in Washington, D.C. Let's take a look-see. It says, underneath the roof, there was a crazy loft all around where slaves, if so disposed, might sleep at night, or in inclement weather seek shelter from the storm. It was like a farmer's barnyard in most respects, save it was so constructed that the outside world could never see the human cattle that were herded there. Solomon Northup, 1853. In 1841, Solomon Northup, a free black man and professional musician, was drugged, kidnapped, and sold as a slave while visiting Washington, D.C., to attend the funeral of President William Henry Harrison. Eventually, Northup regained his freedom and documented the experience in his book, 12 Years a Slave. Narrative of Solomon Northup, 1853. The book includes a first-hand account of William's slave pen, where Northup was first imprisoned. I wonder if you can even get that book anymore in the world or in the United States. Here it is.
Now you tell me who King Solomon was and how old these holy books are. Quran, I Ching, Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, all of it. You tell me, smart fuckers, because I'm just a homeless idiot.
And so after you read that, that's the Hirshhorn Museum. There's evil shit and there's an evil dungeon under it. That's where they do the grab them by the horns rituals outlined in the Freemason shit. And that Washington Monument is actually called Absalom's Pillar, which means without peace. Salam, Shalom, Salem means peace. So Absalom means without peace. So that's that. And all that shit I say about them giving these children fake documents here in D.C. at Social Security.
And at the Rhode Island DMV, where they're documenting all these kids with fake names and documents so they can be shipped around the world as slaves. That's the fucking thing right there. What I just showed you. This is reality. This is Washington, D.C. And this is good versus evil. Are you good or are you evil? That's the true question. Are you good or are you evil? I'm good.